Good morning, brothers. What's going on? This is BMT along with MOT sitting down together in the Black Men's Congregation. We're coming at you again because we were sitting down having a good conversation that it's better to actually share with the brothers in the congregation. Brothers, if you do come in, please like the video, support the channel. We're still going strong in the Black Men's Congregation. Me and MOT have been going to different channels, speaking with different brothers, doing self-coaching and teaching men how to be self-made men in their own right. And we brought this message off that I'm going to let MOT kick it off if he so choose. The message for today: everyone shouldn't be in your network. MOT, I pass it on to you, brother.
All right. Contrary to what y'all been told before for your life, this is one of the biggest lies of blackness, period. Everybody don't belong in your personal network. Now, we're going to talk about some things that are unrelated, but they're going to be related. Okay. Everybody know who the Justice League is, right? How many people actually showed up at Batman's house? Not that many people, right?
Hell, man.
That's how it needs to be. They could be on the team, but they can't be in your personal network. You have to understand that your personal network is for equals, not for people who are just the same race as you, the same class as you. For the most part, that's the way it should go. Everybody, just because they're black and male or female, that doesn't qualify them to be in your personal circle. That doesn't qualify you to be spending or wasting your time on such people. Because most of these collectivists, I guess that's a term that we can just call them,
Sounds about right.
they don't have anything to offer. They don't have anything to offer. And what they want to do is they want to hide their collective failure behind your wall of success. So that way they can look some sort like they were doing something when they actually haven't been doing anything. Now, closing on this dead philosophy is something that you just can't all of a sudden get out of. That's why I kind of laugh whenever people talk about excuse me, codes and all this kind of stuff. Your code is your way of life. You don't all of a sudden want the protection of the code whenever you do something wrong. And all of a sudden you want to put over here and behind the successful brothers and the people who have been doing things the proper way, so that way they can protect you. And you know what happens if you were to protect somebody under those circumstances? They really don't respect you. They just respect what you can do for them at that specific period of time. And after you do that, they're gone. So I want you to stop wasting a whole lot of time by not having these people within your personal circle. Trust me, if you paid attention to them and they've been on some nonsense the entire time throughout their life, then guess what? That's how you treat them. Everybody always can put on this good face whenever they want to try to get within your personal network or your personal circle. But then as soon as they get there, they just want to pump you for information without adding anything to the collective itself. You got to stop letting people use you like that. You got to stop getting your self-esteem caught up in the respect of people who don't give a damn about you either. Because they know that by withholding, humanity and respect from you for a certain period of time, that somehow you're going to be thirsty for it whenever they all of a sudden need something out of you. And that's not how respect works. Respect is an ongoing thing. So you got to make sure that you're not tying yourself down to these old problems of the past. That's why I say there is no redeeming your personal network in Chicago or Baltimore or New York City or New York, wherever. There's nothing wrong with getting out and going to create your own. Because when you go out and create, it's created in your likeness, and it's created for your benefit, and it's created for your future. If you try to redeem old people's problems, you're redeeming it for the opposite effect of what I just said. Those people have the same amount of time, the same access to resources in most cases, that you do. Don't let your speedboat get tied down by the anchors of people who don't want to see you leave. Don't let them do that to you, because they always come around and they attack in packs and they try to go after your self-esteem and all types of things. You just got to be smart enough to be like, you know what? You're right. Walk off, leave, never come back. You have to understand that this path is not hard. The only thing that pretty much erases your progress as soon as you try to make it is the people who you hang around, the people who you are close to, the people who you talk to every day, the people who you interact with. These are the people who are slowing you down, because this is a one-man show. Your job in life is not to be the next Martin Luther King, the next Malcolm X, the next Mahatma Gandhi. It ain't supposed to be any of that, because we knew what happened at the end of their lives. I'm just saying, redeem yourself first. Then keep yourself redeemed, and then put other people in your life. Don't redeem those old problems, because they don't belong in your network when you now have something that they want. If they were actually truly equals, they would have been admiring your path the entire time. Not when they recently want something, but they would have admired it the entire time. All this stuff that you've been emotionally weighed down with and by is based on the people who you met in your network and your circle. There is nothing wrong with moving away, moving by yourself, and getting your own stuff straight. Because I guarantee you, once you actually get there, you'll realize that these steps were not all that hard. It's just that where you was, it just wasn't able to be put to and applied properly. It's kind of like, you know, any type of mixed drink you make. So you put a dab of food coloring in there, it has all the hallmarkings of what it used to look like before you put the little dab of food coloring in there. Now, let's say that you wanted to fix your specific drink the way you wanted to. Now it looks how you want to from beginning to end, and you don't have to worry about it. No, it's just an analogy. Maybe it's a bad one, but you get what I'm trying to say here. Your network should have people who are not only encouraging you, but people who are not putting emotional stress upon you. If every time you talk to XYZ person, and every time they pick up the phone, it's always some drama, yada, 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 all of a sudden I need $5, then, hey man, maybe you need to not do that anymore. Stop being available for people like that. Because the last thing you want to be is a resource to other people and nothing to your own damn self. And also, don't let these people tell you that you're selfish. Them asking you for stuff that they ain't worth, it's the idea and the embodiment of selfishness. So a lot of this stuff, you got control over, whether you think you got control over it or not. And if you don't, it's time you start exhibiting some of these same behaviors of people out here that also play dumb when they need stuff. No, you can also survive this experience by not telling people where you work, not telling people how much you make, not telling people, the wrong people, what you do with your time, all that kind of stuff. You truly don't need to be out here operating like you used to. And trust me, the moment, the millisecond you change, they're going to notice it immediately. Oh man, this was on some different stuff. I can't get at them what I used to. That's when you know you're on the right path. As much as hard to say, hey man, you got to pick up some books. You got to start looking at some YouTube videos about self-change. You got to fill your life with the places you want to be in your future, not the places that you are in your past. You have to realize that those people have already quit progressing. They've already quit evolving. What they need is your company from you to help them feel better about themselves. I don't want you doing that. I want you to take this time right now and just say, maybe he's right. Maybe I need to relook at this. I'm just telling you to revisit it. Revisit all these connections and people in your phone that you think are your friends. I'm not talking about stuff from a needing somebody for financial and all that kind of stuff perspective. I'm talking about truly, what do they bring into your life? How much time are you spending with or around these people? How is this enriching your life? Because I'm telling you, once you get on the path to being on you, none of this stuff even matters. What a person's doing with their life, the problems that them, their kids, and their husbands, and their baby mama, baby daddy, none of that stuff matters to you. Your parents, they can't get right. None of that stuff matters to you after a point. Once you start focusing and concentrating on yourself. But you can't concentrate on yourself with a bad network. It's like this. You are a seed, and you need to be in the proper field so that way you can grow. If you're still hanging out in the desert, you ain't going to grow out in the desert. Nothing's meant to come out of that sand. Where you at right now is the sand. You got to go to other fields where you can grow. Stop thinking you're going to take everybody with you. The everybody you want to take with you are the everyone who's going to hold your ass back as soon as you start being on the path to redemption. Keep that in mind. The personal networks mean everything. It should be a reflection of you, your future, and your value system. You should be proud for your phone never to ring, unless it's somebody who is in your personal circle, somebody who you're mentoring, or somebody who you're taking advice from. That's why your phone needs to ring. Not everybody gonna look like you. Not everybody gonna come from your background. But as long as all of y'all on the same path, it's kind of like a reinforcement circle. Because if you got people who are around you who really care about you, they always care where you're going. Wow, not asking for things. You have to realize, man, that it's all on you. There ain't nobody coming to save you. You are going to save you. That's all I got, Joe.
There we go. I wanted to say that because when I first came up with this content, I knew when we first started doing this that not everybody was going to agree with us. And one of the most potent things that I think that has been stubbing and hindering the Black community is the fact that I keep hearing that we shall overcome, that we need to stand together, that we need to do this. It's always this we. When you are updating your computer to run faster, better, and stronger, you can't keep the same programs of the past and the same ideological thinking. Can't keep that. You got to cut away old files and data because you need to move forward. Sad to say, the man, when I first joined the service, they said, look to the left and look to the right of you. Everybody's not going to make it through graduation. Everybody's not going to walk across that field. Every man must be able to carry his own weight. As I understood that, because as we ran together, marched together, we all had the same training, but not everybody had the same goals in their heart. And I started understanding that if this man to the next to me can't keep up, I still have to continue on to complete the mission. You see, I want you to understand this, brother, that you have to be accountable for yourself first. It is not your job or your duty to pull that other man through. You see, I'm tired of hearing that. Because, yeah, you could try to put along, well, we built this. No. There were men that had the same interest and goals and success that came together. What can you do, brother? Well, I'm a carpenter by trade. Well, what are you? I'm a physician. I'll tell you what, I can provide a service for your workers and make sure that y'all are healthy and up to par. Just if you can build me a nice little, area where I can work. You see, we have the same goals because I can keep your men nice and healthy. You just got to give me a place that's furnished for me to actually work. You see, when you actually start putting yourself around a certain type of network that can actually help you produce more success, see, that is proper networking. But see, the problem is that you get this lie that's been told to you throughout the ages that everyone has to be within your network. And that's the biggest lie, because when you're trying to fit the same shoes as the man to the left or right of you, you're only hurting your feet. You're only tearing yourself up. And it can't work like that, brother. You can't let every man and woman around you. Sometimes you got to be alone by yourself. Sometimes you got to find that one brother. If you see him doing something, hey, you're doing a good job. Yeah, man, you too. I see you always come out here and you catching fish. What kind of line are you using? Well, I'm using this type of line. Gonna cost you some money, but if you get this kind of line, and he comes back the next day, I see brother MOT come back to the same water hole with me with the same fishing line. See, what he did was, rather than ask me for my line, he went and got his own line. He brought himself up to par to catch just as many fish. Now, me and him can start communicating because I see that he's catching his fish and I'm catching mine. See, brothers, you got to understand, it ain't your job to go back and try to pull these people up. It's their job to get themselves up to where you're at. So that way y'all can work together. See, time and time again, and a lot of y'all, you don't have to say it. You can attest to the times where you try to bring somebody up and you lost out on your resources. You came up short or just shy. Mama said, give that girl a chance, and she wasn't doing right, but somehow you thought you could try to polish her up, but you lost time and probably lost the woman that you wanted. You listening to your friends and you have a chance to get out of a situation, but you want to stay behind because you want to be around your friends. See, you got to understand, sometimes everybody can't be at your table. They even talk about it in the Bible with the man Jesus. He sat at the table with his disciples. He said, you know what's funny? One of y'all is going to betray me. Another time he said, listen, at a fire, he said, listen, y'all been around me for almost 3 years. Who do you say I am? And out of 12 disciples, nobody but just one disciple knew who he was as a man. You see, everybody truly doesn't know you. They think they know you, but they don't know what you're capable of. And you got to understand that you can't have everybody sit at your table, brothers. Everybody ain't ready for what you're about to do. So you got to understand that you got to be very selective about the people that attend your party. There ain't no shame in the game. I had to cut a lot of family and friends good. I had to let a lot of them go. I had to have many nights by myself. I had a group of friends and we used to have a good time, but I got a question. Were we making move? Were we advancing forward? One of the proverbs of success is it's a lonely road at times because everybody ain't and shouldn't be doing what you're doing. Because what's going to set you apart when the time comes for the proper networking to see what you're doing? You can't tell everybody what you're trying to do. That's for you alone, brothers. You can't share what you got going on for yourself with everybody else because that's going to keep you from your blessing. You gotta understand. It ain't for you to try to pull that woman up. It's for her to already be up to where she needs to be for her to catch your eye. It's not up for you to absolve the sins of the fools. It's for that fool to correct himself. This is what's been holding us back, brothers. It ain't bad to want to work with a man that's doing what he needs to be doing. This is why me and MOT came together to make this. His vision matches my vision, so we can network together. But everybody can't sit at your table in the congregation. This is why trios and teams and groups fall apart. Because when they start speaking differently, and they're not talking how the unit or the collective or the group is talking, you got to learn to take them out your network. Nah, I can't use you. Wait, well, why not? Why? Well, hold on, brother. We start. No, we did. But what you're doing is not progressive in what I'm trying to do. How do you think Bill Gates made it to where he was? What did you think Jay-Z had to do to Damon Dash? He said, listen, you causing me my success. I used to be at the top. But after you and your bad networking deals, you caused us to lose money. Now we working for these people. So what did he do? He had to cut Damon Dash. Now, guess what? He's the CEO of his own company. But he understood that I can't network with all these fools. You understand? Everybody can't ride the same wave as you. Do you choose to carry everybody? But if you choose to carry everybody, expect your programming to get slow. I'm done. I don't want to be here too long, but I just want you to understand that everybody should not be in your network. They don't need to be. They're not worth being in your network. It's a stringent privilege, and it's a right. They have to earn that. MOT, anything you want to say before we close it out?
Man, for y'all brothers, man, your ability to have the most peace in your life, despite where you are, is the most important asset. You should have so much time on your hands to research things, to see what your next move is. That's the benefit of doing things right. So I hope y'all take this to heart, man. So that way we can have more people that we can go with and have to look at the black community. Think about any wealthy neighborhood that you go to, try. Every single one of them people had to earn their way into that zip code with their own hard work. There is nobody door to door who's talking about community and all kinds of other stuff. Ain't nobody talking about stuff like that. I guarantee you, most of those people, wherever you are in those work, they got their own interests. From beginning to end, they do. You just got to be smart enough to know that this collectivist mindset, without everybody's collective work, is a self-serving mind. And it always has been. When people talk about the collective, all of us, the average network, what they're talking about is they're not going to put anything on it. They want 6 or 7 people to get their numbers up so that way they ain't got to. And then the moment you get close to them with the truth, you're like, Oh, who does it matter? Who gets credit? Now, it makes a lot of difference for me. Because have not learned these lessons, why would I bring you into a new status, a new station? Why would I do that if you haven't learned the lesson? That's all I got, man. You know, it's just different concepts you have to think about. That way you can get the most out of life. That's all I got, Joe.
All right, guys. Like I said, we were really passionate about this talk because we want to see all y'all succeed and be prosperous for this week. I just want y'all just to sit down on your bed or chair or wherever you at, or just pull your car to the side. And if you got a phone, I want you to literally scroll through that call log, scroll through that contacts, scroll through that Facebook, whatever you got, and ask yourself, do you truly need all those people? Do you truly need all 200 of those people? Do you truly need all 50 of those people in your contact? Ask yourself that question. What have they done as of late to help you be successful? And if they have done nothing, do you truly need them? That's all I got to say. I promise you. You shorten that list down to 5 or 4 or probably one contact. You won't really feel a thing. You won't even miss anything. That's the thing about it with people who are very successful. They don't have a lot of people come to their dinner party. They really don't. Actually, their dinner table is pretty small. But the ones who have many people on them, they don't know who's for them or against them. That's why you see them commit suicide or feel so many type of ways where they lose their mind. Because everybody's pulling from them. But nobody's help lifting them up or pushing them up. I've seen it. This is Joe of BMT and MOT of Black Men's Congregation. We'd like to thank you, brothers, for coming out here today, supporting the channel, viewing the channel. For those who are actually clicking on and wanted to hear the words, whether you be a Black man or any type of man, we invite you to sit down and listen. Whether you be a woman, we invite you to sit down and listen in the congregation. I don't have no problem with y'all listening. I don't have no problem with y'all taking part in this congregational word, but I want you to understand that these of men, we're grabbing for success. We are. Thank y'all for joining us. Take care.